Welcome to Phil Wilson Chats with Celebrities. And here's your host, Phil Wilson.
21,000 followers across Instagram and TikTok, and over 230,000 streams to date. From the birthplace of blues to the epicenter of electronic music, Isla Rose takes us from the roots of the US music scene to the buzzing streets of London with her new EP, Pulse, and fabulous new single from it, Don't Mess Around Honey, which is out now. And Isla Rose joins us now. How are you doing, Isla?
Thank you so much. I'm doing very well. I'm excited to be here.
It's wonderful to catch up with you there. And somebody compared you to Lana Del Rey, but I think you're in your own category. You know, you're your own person, and that's what people will draw you to your music. Because it's nice to have comparisons. You know, people can review people's music and have comparisons, but I think it's just, you know, this is Isla Rose. This is, you know, not a sound so like much. This is Isla Rose. So remember that name.
Yeah.
You're going to go places.
Remember it. Write it down on paper, stick it in your pocket.
That's right. Yes, definitely a name to remember. Now, you were born in the state of Kentucky and began your musical journey at just 10 years of age when you first got your hands on a pair of drumsticks. Please, can you tell us more about that? Because you're actually speaking to a fellow...
Are you? No way. I love that. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you know a drummer, you know a drummer. You just connect, don't you?
You have the connection straight away. As soon as somebody says that, it's like, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Except everything that has to do with musical tones. Because that was the only thing that I didn't learn.
Did your parents always say that you had the beat? Because that's what my parents said.
Yeah. They were like, she's got the beat. They don't know where I got it from, but somehow
Did you always move with the music? I was always moving with the music. And they used to go, that lad's got the beat. But somebody else said, I think there's something wrong with that kid. Well, if you've got the beat, you've got the beat.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. You got to own it.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I loved it. I always loved music from such a young age. I just didn't know really kind of where to start. And I had a neighbor that was a drummer. He was a few years older than me. I always heard him drumming in his house, and I was like, that sounds so cool. Like, I want to do that. Why not? I think I was still too young to really play the guitar and know that I could do it. I think it was intimidating. The guitar was intimidating. So I did the drums, which I don't know how that's less intimidating, but I did it anyway. And he gave me lessons, and that was a really fun. And I just fell in love with just playing the drums. And I played in bands all growing up throughout high school and college, or uni, you guys call it here. And I loved it. Yeah, but I never sang. I was always too shy in terms of I wasn't, you know, I think ready for that step. And then all of a sudden I was just like, you know what? I think I do want to do music for real, and I'm going to go a little bit further and see what I can do outside of just drumming.
Yeah, because of course there was Karen Carpenter, you know, the Carpenters.
Yes, I do.
She hid behind the drum kit.
Yeah.
Didn't she? She hid behind the drum kit, but she was able to play the drums and sing at the same time. Now, have you tried that?
I have like a few times. And it's difficult. You have to you know, you're using your arms and you're having to control your breathing. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, respect to anyone who can do it, but it's difficult. I think if you're doing backing vocals, it's a little bit more forgiving. But in terms of lead, I'm like, there's no way. You
know, it's like Richard on the keyboard there, and then there she was playing the drums and singing. I just couldn't believe it. So maybe that could be one of your party pieces, or when you go on tour there, maybe Isla.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't be as good as her, but I could definitely give it my best shot.
I'm sure you'll do fabulous with it.
Oh, thank
Coming
you.
soon to a town near you. Isla, plays the
Yes.
drums and sings.
Badly.
Excellent. Yeah, that'll definitely sell tickets. I know that. Great
I'm
stuff.
counting on it.
Now, you relocated to Tupelo, Mississippi. What was it like moving to the home of blues and Americana? And did it have an influence on your music?
Yeah, actually, like moving to Tupelo it was a big change. I know it sounds not that big when you're going just from Kentucky to Mississippi, but it's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
And it was different. And both places are great in their own ways. And I did really love moving to Tupelo because it did have this like massive, vibrant energy for, like Elvis. And we have an Elvis festival where all these Elvises come in and like sing Elvis songs. And it is so much fun. And there's a lot of blues around there. And, I would go to New Orleans even, for weekends, and the blues and jazz scene is really amazing there. And it really did and start to influence my music. I saw people like the Black Keys and
wow.
Yeah, just like so many people that I feel like inspired a lot of the bands that I was in at that time. And we played a lot of like Black Keys and, a lot of good like rock bands, but bluesy. And yeah, it was really, really nice. It really developed my music taste in that, or expanded it in that way.
And did you record anything in any of the studios over there? Because I bet you there would have been a great selection of musicians there to choose from.
Yeah, honestly, I wish we would have. We did a lot of gigs, but we didn't really record anything at that time. At that time, I was kind of doing it just more for fun. I never thought I was going to do music. I never thought I was going to do music seriously. At that time, it was just for fun, and I was going to, go to uni for communications and do something in the business world. So yeah.
But you've chose the music business instead.
Music, yeah.
That's show business, and why not?
I know, yeah. I'm like, sorry, mom and dad, I'm not doing anything with my college degree. but they understand, and also it's kind of led me to where I am now. So it all kind of worked out.
Well, it's a lot better being behind a microphone rather than being behind a desk.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah, and I think. It was a big change, but it really was COVID that kind of got me into the making my own music thing, because I can go into a little bit more of my story, because when I was in uni in America, I did do an internship for Epic Records, and that was really amazing. And
I bet.
Yeah, and before that, I was thinking about actually working in film, doing more production stuff. And that was actually the way I wanted to go. But then I did the internship for Epic Records, and I was just like, wow, the music industry is just so vibrant and so much energy. And I loved the people in the industry, and I just thought it was really where I felt most excited. And so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll go work at a record label. And then I was just like, do you know what? It's almost like harder because you're like on the outside looking into what you really want to be doing, which is like making music.
Yes.
So yeah, I decided that, you know what, maybe I'll work in production and be in that creative role, but not necessarily the artist. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to do a music production course. And that's when I came to London. And so I studied music production and sound engineering. And then COVID happened right after I graduated. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? No one's hiring.
Wow, no.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own music. And that's when it all started, out of kind of boredom of being in lockdown. But it is something I always wanted to do. And I never had the confidence, I don't think. I never thought I was good. And I never had learned a tone-based instrument either. So I taught myself the piano at the beginning of COVID. And then at that point, I taught myself music theory from like a music theory book, which is, I literally read it like a textbook. And when that happened and I understood like the piano, like music ideas, just like that, I feel like I've been in there, like trapped in my brain for years, like came flowing out. And that was like a big aha moment that I don't want to do anything else ever again. Like writing music is my passion. So
yeah, picking up from that, I mean, you dived headfirst into the local music scene, drumming in various bands, and your dream was always to one day make your own music. And your intrigue into the science behind sound and music, it was like something different to lead you to London, where you studied music production, as you mentioned, and sound engineering. And it is here where your musical scope flourished. Now, where did you study, and did you learn digital and analog production techniques? As I've always been interested in how the layers of a song are put down, and I'm always interested in how drums are always laid down in an opposite way round. Oh, is it that my hi-fi speakers have been hooked up wrong for the last 30 years?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I went to music school at Point Blank Music School in London.
Excellent.
Yes. And again, I think I came to London because I had never really been out of the South either. Like I went to school in Alabama, right next to Mississippi. So it was really exciting coming over. And I went to Point Blank Music School, and I did learn digital and analog production.
Excellent.
That was really fun. It was kind of like I was learning everything at once though, and I was like, what is everything? I feel like I went in on my first day of classes.
Overwhelmed.
I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I should have probably like tried to study this a little bit before I came out here. And yeah, I felt like they were speaking a different language. I literally cannot tell you, I started from ground zero. 'Cause again, learning the drums was awesome. It gave me really good rhythm. But again, like I didn't know like any kind of music theory, because when you are making music, it is important to know like what's a chord?
Yes.
I didn't even know what a chord was. Seriously.
No.
I'm telling you, I have come from zero experience to like where I am now, which seems wild. So just for anyone out there that literally has like no experience, like it can be get the Everything 101 music theory book. That's what did it for me. And then learn.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Get yourself over to wherever you get your downloads from, your books, Amazon or wherever else.
Yeah.
Blackwell's, wherever.
Exactly.
Wherever you get your downloads.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. But do you know why, when you listen to a song, like, for example, if you listen to a record, you would go, right, if you're playing the drums, the hi-hat is over here. The snare drum is there. Your cymbals there and there, maybe. Your toms either side. For some reason, when they're playing the hi-hat, it's in the other speaker.
Yeah.
Have you found that, or is it just me?
It's all a little bit. We did do a lot of recording on live instruments and stuff in school.
It's like, who decided on that?
Yeah,
who decided? Let's put the hi-hat over here. I mean, some rock drummers, they like, especially like I'm sure the drummer Def Leppard. I mean, he plays obviously with one arm, but he's got his hi-hat over the other side. That's
so unnatural. You're like,
but when you listen to the record, if you listen to a record, it's in the wrong place.
Interesting.
It's strange.
Oh, so they kept it where it was really panned, kind of in terms of the rhythm.
Yeah. But I thought I'd ask that question with you doing the music production there. Maybe that is an answer that will never ever be answered.
Yeah, it will never.
Because the person who decided on the technique obviously is no longer with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, they may have spoke up to solve the problem.
Yeah, I know. There's so many different things in music, and I'm like, but why do we do this? Why don't we just do that? It just seems easier. Why did they make this so hard?
Yeah, they'll have to add it to the music production 101 book maybe, and then we'll all have the answers
exactly.
there. Yeah,
We'll give them a
that's a
call.
suggestion. Excellent. Now, My Adeline was one of the first songs you began to write and produce. Please, can you tell us the story behind that?
Yeah. So, My Adeline was very unique because, I just started writing and I was still trying to discover my sound at the time. And I came up with that with the first verse and the pre-chorus. And I was like, this is kind of nice. I don't know where to go with it, but I knew I had this beat in mind. Like I was hand drumming the beat while I was singing this melody over some chords that I had made on voice memos. And it's funny because with most of my music, I don't write lyrics from the start. I just sing gibberish, which I think a lot of people do.
A lot of people will, yes, just to get a feel for what you're actually trying to make, get the sound right and things.
Yeah, get a framework laid down.
A bit of la la la.
Yeah, exactly. All the la la la.
Or in your single, la di da.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yes. A lot of la la di das.
Yeah.
And then I ended up making lyrics out of what it sounded like I sang, and it ended up being this like really deep meaning, and I didn't even realize that until I really finished the song until months later, and I was like, I think it might be about me as a young girl and coming of age story, and the things that I've been through. And here where I am now, kind of having gone through it and being a bit stronger, wiser through these tough experiences. And My Adeline is like a younger version of me. So,
it's a great track as well. Absolutely love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And your experience since you came to London at clubs and festivals like Ministry of Sound and Glastonbury opened your eyes and ears to the beauty and power of music and how it brings people together, creating amazing atmospheres and memories. Now, these experiences have inspired you to finally create something of your own. Was it a light bulb moment to start writing your own music on return from these festivals, or did it take a bit of time?
Yeah, man, every time I go to a festival, I'm even going to Glastonbury next week, and I get I'm so
Are you glamping or are you in a tent?
I'm in a tent.
Good, you're roughing
it. One day.
Excellent.
One day. I got to get the full experience,
But it's more fun, apparently. When you're in the tent, because then you're in amongst it. Because if you're glamping, then everyone's just in their caravans
they
or whatever.
Get the struggle. You got to have the struggle to realize how good it can be.
That's right. But you need to take your own portaloo.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I know. I have a friend that came from America to the festival with me last year, and she gets there, and I thought I prefaced her on everything, and she gets there and she was like, there's no toilet paper or soap.
I know.
That's Glastonbury.
Oh, yes.
It's great.
Yeah. It's great to rough it, but you've got a lot of inspiration, have you, from them festivals?
Yeah, no, I do, and I think every time I go, I just have the most amazing group of friends in London, and we all go. There's a massive group of us that go, and we just have the best time, and it just made me realize how much music is so powerful and how it can create such good times and memories for people, because I feel like the best times I've had is when I'm listening, going to a music event, even if you're in your own house and you just turn on some music while you're, making dinner. I just feel like it's almost like a natural high, like that you're getting from music that you love. And I think there's nothing else that can really do that other than, obviously people, obviously relationships can do that, but something that's, just a thing is pretty amazing.
And I bet when you're actually going to these festivals as well, you'll be able to pick up the vibe of what music is actually coming out, and then you can maybe adapt yourself if you wanted to to the way that the fashion is going with the music and such like. Because at the end of the day, any of them people at them festivals could be your audience in the future.
Yeah, I know it is a weird thought. It's kind of like all my friends would be like, "Are you gonna be on that stage one day?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh," I'm like, "I would love to. We'll see what happens." But also kind of crazy to even think about because I have so much respect.
I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, I thank you so much.
Yeah, I can see you there. I can see you there. The dark background of the big, massive dome stage there. You know, there you are. Oh, yes, it'll happen. Yeah,
thank you so much.
I said it here first.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right.
Thank you. Manifest it in the universe.
Yeah, I'll have to get an autographed something off you before you do that though, because you might forget that Phil Wilson that you spoke to
never.
in 2024.
You're too kind. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I would love it, and I think that it would be amazing to experience something like that someday. But I'm just so inspired by the people that do get up on stage and how much hard work they've done to get there. That's something that I know how hard it is to just get the song to sound how you want it. And it's amazing what they've been able to achieve and how they've had so much people like come to their music gig and like their music. Like that must be an amazing feeling to feel like the music you're putting out is kind of, getting heard and making a difference in people's lives. And that's the main goal.
Because your music is something which is totally unique. It's something which everyone will want to hear because, I get sent that so much music on a weekly basis. And, as people may want to come on the show and such like. And honestly, as soon as I heard your music, I thought, it's not, like I said earlier, it's not Lana Del Rey sound alike. It's you and it's your own kind of, style. And people are going to love it,
Thank you so much. Yeah. And also like the comparison to Lana Del Rey, I'm like, thank you. Because Lana Del Rey is God. So I'm like,
yeah, of course she is. Yeah.
Like, thank you so much. Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah. I mean, she's remodeled herself as well, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Because she was singing a lot of the ballads. Yeah. And now she's picked things up a bit, picked the pace up a bit, which is good.
Exactly. I think that's how my kind of area is what I like as well, because I love Lana Del Rey and I love her ballads, but I do personally in the music I make, it's a bit more upbeat. And
exactly.
I think that a lot of people have said I'm like an upbeat Lana Del Rey, and I'm like, I will take that because that's I actually love her upbeat songs, and I'm like, I want more of that.
Exactly, because she's just brought some music out which is upbeat, and it's like, is this the same lady? But it's really good.
Amazing.
It's positive.
Yeah. Even some of her remixes, like the remix of Blue Jeans by RAC Remix, that's like one of my all-time favorite songs. And I'm like, I want to make stuff like that.
Because what was that first single again? It was Video
Games.
Video Games. That's it. Yeah.
That is just such a most beautiful, powerful song that I think when I first heard Lana Del Rey, I was like, who is this girl and where has she been? Like, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, her music is so inspiring, and it was so unique, I feel like, for that time, when she first came out. And I was like, wow, I want more of this. So I'm trying to bring more of that.
You definitely are as well. Now, in March 2023, it marked a significant milestone in your career with the release of your debut EP, Nuances, which was the beginning of an exciting new female presence in the alternative pop scene. Were you surprised at how your music was received?
Yeah, definitely. I remember releasing my Adeline being like, is anyone going to like this? I don't know. Like, is it just because I made it that I like it? I'm not sure. Even I listened to it so many times that I was like, I can't listen to it anymore. I'm so jaded by it. So it's like one of those things where you're like, here it goes. I'm just going to put myself out there. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But no, everyone was so supportive and loved it. And I felt really, really blessed. And it was validating. It was like, okay, maybe I should keep going, keep creating, which was a nice feeling.
And of course, now with your new EP, Pulse, which is out now, can you tell us what inspired you to write that EP?
Yeah. So I have so many songs that I've been writing, honestly, that are so backlogged that I
Yeah.
can't wait to get out.
Uh,
But so I think just what's inspired me was especially with my first single off of Pulse, which is Don't Mess Around Honey.
yeah.
It's definitely more upbeat, a lot more poppy than any of my other stuff. And
Yeah.
I think what I've realized about my music is that it's all very different. Like all my songs are very different from each other, but I quite like that because I'm different all the time. Like one day I may be like super emotional, moody, and don't want to talk to the world and at my piano writing very, melancholic songs. And then the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
time, like, let's go party in the sun. Like, let's listen to like any kind of upbeat song off Love Island and let's freaking go,
Yeah.
It just depends
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the day. So, I think that especially like this song's music video was so silly, and I just really wanted to do something that was. And I'm like I think I definitely have my days where I'm again moody and melancholic and
Yeah.
very deep thinking or deep
Yeah.
thinker and have a lot of deep meanings to my music. And then other days I'm just like, I don't want to take myself too seriously today. Like, let's just be silly and, have a sense of humor about everything and just have fun. So
I think
that's,
it. Well, I think you need to write a song called "Let's Party in the Sunshine." I don't think anyone's made one like that.
I love it. I'm writing
We've
this
walked
down.
on sunshine. We've walked on sunshine with
Yep.
Katrina and the Waves, but we haven't. Let's party in the sunshine. So
Party in the
there's a title
sunshine.
for your next one.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Writing it
There you
down.
go. Now, your new single, Don't Mess Around Honey, is an excellent track. Like I mentioned earlier, I love the Laddie Da, which is actually very, very catchy, I must
Thank
admit.
you.
And it is, what is your favorite track from your EP? Is it that one?
So yes, well, it depends. Well, actually, so I have released, that's my first single off of it, but I'm still releasing my next three, which aren't out yet. But I have my second single from it. I actually think that might be my favorite. So that's coming soon. It's a bit more like my song I'm Sorry off my last EP. It's a bit
Right.
more like starts from zero, but then gets to 100. It's more
Right.
emotional, so it's totally different than
Yeah.
Don't Mess Around Honey. But Don't Mess Around Honey also holds a special place in my heart because it's so like silly in the music video and it's so upbeat and it is so summery. So
Yeah.
but also, I've now like listened to it a million hundred times. And now I'm like, the next one's my favorite. You guys just wait till you hear that one. Don't Mess Around Honey was probably my favorite last year.
Well, we're going to look forward to hearing that in a moment or two from now.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
absolutely magical. I think you're releasing your music at the right time as well because it's the summer.
Finally, I know summer's finally here. I feel like this week.
Fingers crossed the rain's not going to come back. Oh, I said it. Oh,
Yeah, I know. We can't jinx it. Knock on wood.
the R word I should have said.
Yeah. The word we don't speak of, which is we're not going to say it, but
No,
it
not
is-
going to say it, but I can see it out that window behind you there, which is lovely.
know.
The lovely
Lovely.
sun
lovely.
there. Beautiful. Now I got myself all mixed up there. It's thinking of the sunshine. Now the vinyl revival is upon us, so I must ask, what was your first vinyl record you've ever bought, and what is your favorite song on a vinyl record?
Oh, that's a good question. I think my first vinyl record I bought was Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
I think it was Rumors.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's it. Was my very first. And I was always a big fan of classic rock music and especially Stevie Nicks, obviously.
Oh yes,
Legend.
of course.
And so that was my first. What was the second question? Sorry.
And if you had that was the first album you bought, and what song would you play me off a vinyl record today if you had a turntable aside you?
Oh,
If you said, Phil, this is my favorite song, you gotta listen to this.
favorite song ever?
like on vinyl?
On vinyl.
That's what
Okay.
makes it more difficult.
That is hard. That is hard. You know what? I do have a favorite song, but I don't know if it's out on vinyl. But I will say a song from the Rumors album, which because I know that one was one of my
Yeah.
favorites on vinyl. I will have to say, Go Your Own Way. You just can't beat it.
Oh, you can go your own
Yeah.
way. Oh, love it. That's a great choice, that.
Yeah, that one will always be a special song in my heart because it's like my childhood. I grew up on that.
It is. It's a fabulous song. Absolutely great
Yeah.
album as well. Beautiful. Great choice
Yeah.
there.
Thank you.
Now you're not going to believe this, Isla, that we've run out of time. So it just
Shame.
leaves me to say thank you so much for joining me on the show this week. It's been such a
course.
privilege. And I'd
Thank
like
you
to
so much.
No problem at all. And I'd like to wish you all the very best with the EP and also with your brand new single, Don't Mess Around, taken from your new EP, Pulse. And it'd be great to catch up at some point at one of your concerts here in the UK. If you drop us a line, it'd be great to meet with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate coming on your show and having me. So
No
thanks
problem.
again.
And would you like to come on the show again, or have I done the usual and frightened people away?
Yeah, I would love to. My
Excellent.
kind of thing.
Excellent. Well, it'll be great to chat with you again soon. And finally, would it be possible for you to introduce your latest single, Don't Mess Around, Honey, from your new EP, Pulse?
I would love to. So this is Isla Rose with my single off my next EP, Pulse, called Don't Mess Around, Honey. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Isla. All the best, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.